Thousands of pro-Iran demonstrators take to the streets of Tehran, holding mass rallies to mark Al-Quds Day as a massive explosion rocks the capital.
People are not afraid of these attacks. We will not back down in any way.
It's been 2 weeks since this conflict began, and residents pushing for regime change are beginning to lose hope.
The real fear we have is this war might end in a way that leaves the Islamic regime in power.
But the United States remains undeterred.
They've been decimated. Their country's in bad shape. The whole thing is collapsing.
Donald Trump writing on social media that US forces have executed a powerful bombing raid, obliterating every military target in Iran's crown jewel, Karg Island. The small terminal in the northern Gulf handles around 90% of Iran's oil exports. In response, Iran's armed forces have reportedly threatened strikes on facilities owned by oil companies cooperating with the US, as the White House takes aim at the country's new supreme leader, claiming to have wounded Mojtaba Khamenei.
He's scared, he's injured, he's on the run, and he lacks legitimacy. It's a mess.
The death toll for both sides is continuing to rise. US-based human rights agency Harana says at least 4,700 human casualties have been recorded. And the US military has confirmed the deaths of 6 people on board a refuelling aircraft over western Iraq. In Israel, sirens wail as missiles stream across the sky. Iran and Hezbollah launching another joint attack, damaging neighbourhoods in Tel Aviv and Holon while injuring dozens in the village of Zazir. This is the aftermath of an Iranian ballistic missile. It smashed into this house in the middle of the night. A family of 6 were home here at the time, but they were inside the shelter, holding a chest of drawers against the window to protect themselves. Somehow, they all survived.
To count the damage and the houses far away and the windows broken.
Israel is continuing to strike targets in southern Lebanon, where almost 1 million people have now been displaced.
The violent aggression against civilians by the Israeli enemy has forced our people to come to Beirut and to all other regions in Lebanon.
In the face of aggression, Hezbollah is remaining defiant.
We have prepared ourselves for a long confrontation, and God willing, the enemy will be surprised in the battlefield.
A protracted duel ever likely, with thousands more US troops expected to be deployed in coming days.
ABC correspondent Bridget Rollason joins us from Haifa in northern Israel. Bridget, tanks are building up on the Israel-Lebanon border, not far from where you are now. Where does this go from here?
Well, Nick, Israel is preparing to launch its biggest ground invasion in Lebanon since 2006, is what we're hearing in reports. This could lead to a protracted occupation in the south of the country after we have seen the IDF issue mass evacuation warnings. This comes after we have seen fighter jets from Israel flying at very low altitudes across the capital, Beirut. They have been dropping thousands of leaflets, and in these leaflets they are urging the people in Lebanon to rise up and turn against the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah and demand they disarm. This is about Israel trying to capitalise on the growing division we are seeing in Lebanon at the moment. There is mounting anger at Hezbollah for dragging the country into this war, particularly because we have seen the death toll in Lebanon exceed more than 700 people, while nearly 1 million people there have now been displaced.
And what more do you know about these reports that the US is sending additional forces to the Gulf?
Well, there are reports from the Pentagon that more than 2,500 Marines are being sent, as well as a special amphibious warship, as well as F-35 fighter jets to support that already huge build-up we have seen from the US in the region. This comes as Iran has been stepping up its attacks on the Strait of Hormuz. We have seen more than 13 tankers there attacked by Iran in this really crucial waterway, which is responsible for about 1/5 of the world's oil traffic traffic, that's basically come to a standstill now and has sent oil prices there soaring. The US says that it is prepared to escort tankers through the strait, but there's little detail on how and when that will happen. There are also reports that the US is preparing to send parts of a missile defence system from South Korea to the Middle East. So now, as we are in the third week of fighting, this conflict only seems to be escalating.